Today, we bring you news that will make many hearts feel a bit lighter, especially for those who have lived through the long years of trouble in the northeastern part of our country. For a very long time, the name Sambisa Forest has brought a feeling of fear to many families. It is a place that became a hiding spot for people who wanted to cause pain and sorrow. But today, the news reaching us from the front lines tells a different story. It is a story of a major victory for our soldiers and for everyone who dreams of peace. A very high-ranking leader of the Boko Haram group, a man known as Abu Khalid, has been killed. Our soldiers, working under the special mission called Operation Hadin Kai, carried out a very bold raid deep into the forest. According to the official reports from the military headquarters in Maiduguri, this happened in a place called the Komala area. This area is inside the Konduga local government of Borno State. For those who know the geography of that region, Komala is not far from the road that connects Maiduguri to Damboa and Biu. For many years, that road has been very dangerous. Many travelers were afraid to pass through it because of the men hiding in the bushes. But on Saturday night around 11 o'clock, our brave soldiers decided it was time to take the fight directly to the doorstep of the enemy. This man, Abu Khalid, was not just any ordinary member of the group. The military tells us he was actually the second in command for the entire Boko Haram operations within the Sambisa forest. This means he was the one helping to plan the attacks and making sure their fighters had the food, guns and medicines they needed to keep hiding. He was like the engine of the group in that part of the forest. Removing a man like this is like taking the steering wheel out of a car that is moving fast. It makes it much harder for the group to organize themselves and carry out more harm against innocent people. During this operation, the soldiers were not alone. They worked hand in hand with the brave members of the Civilian Joint Task Force. These are local people, our brothers and sons, who know the land very well and have decided to stand up and protect their communities. Because they worked together, they were able to surprise the insurgents in their camp. In the heavy fighting that followed, 10 other fighters who were with Abu Khalid were also killed. This is a very big blow to the insurgents because losing 11 people at once, including a top leader, is something that will leave them feeling very weak and scattered. If you are glad to hear about this progress and you want to stay informed about how our soldiers are working to bring peace back to our land, please click the like button on this video. It helps more people to see this good news and share in the hope it brings. When the fight was over, the soldiers went through the camp and found many items that these men were using. They recovered 5 AK-47 rifles and many magazines full of bullets. They also found several bicycles. As many of you know, these insurgents often use bicycles to move through the narrow paths in the forest where cars cannot go. They found food and medical supplies too. Finding these things shows that the military is successfully cutting off the ways these people survive in the bush. When they lose their food and their ways of moving around, they cannot stay in the forest for much longer. The most wonderful part of this news is that not a single one of our soldiers was killed or injured during this mission. They went in, did their job with great skill and came back safely. This shows that the training and the new equipment our military is using are truly making a difference. It also shows that the information they are getting from the people living in those areas is helping them to strike accurately without putting themselves in too much danger. This victory against Abu Khalid did not happen in a vacuum. 24 hours before this operation, the military also took down another very dangerous commander named Julaibib. Julaibib was a leader for the ISWAP group, which is another faction that has been causing trouble in the same region. He was operating in an area called the Timbuktu Triangle. By removing 2 top leaders in just 2 days, the military is sending a very clear message. The message is that there is no longer any safe hiding place for those who choose the path of violence. It is important for us to remember the people of Konduga and the surrounding villages. For a long time, many of them had to leave their homes. They had to leave their farms and their businesses to live in camps where life is not easy. When they hear that men like Abu Khalid are no longer around, it gives them the courage to think about going back home. It gives the farmers hope that they can once again plant their crops without the fear of being attacked. This is why we must continue to support our troops with our words and our prayers. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. By doing so, you will always be among the first to get the latest updates on these important events happening across our country. Your support helps us keep bringing you the truth and celebrating the victories of our people. The military has promised that they will not stop here. They have said that their morale is very high right now. They are continuing to move through the Mandara Mountains and other parts of the forest to clear out any remaining groups. They want to make sure that the entire Northeast is safe for everyone to move around freely. We are seeing a time where the darkness of the last few years is starting to fade away. It may take some more time to finish the work completely, but every day like this brings us closer to a Nigeria where every grandfather and grandmother can sit outside their house in the evening without any fear. Let us keep our eyes on the progress being made. The death of Abu Khalid is a sign that our leaders are working. By focusing on the commanders, they are breaking the back of the insurgency. As we go about our day, let us remember the families of those who have suffered, and let us pray that this peace we are seeing today will last forever. We will continue to follow these stories closely and bring you every detail as it comes in from the front lines. Thank you for spending your time with us today and for caring about the future.